Hi everyone, good to see you again all. I hope you all will be fine. Please check Iraq latest news updates. The economic expert, Aziz Shwan, said that the U.S. sanctions imposed on a number of Iraqi banks have a political goal. Schwan said in an interview with Al-Jarida that the violations of the banks are twofold, intended and unintended, explaining that the penalties were imposed on these private banks by the American side because of bank transfers. According to the controls of the central bank to accounts outside Iraq, and the Americans have notes on these bank accounts through their sources. It would have been more appropriate for the American side to find a mechanism to warn the central bank or the concerned national bank for the purpose of conducting additional verification of certain bank account codes or SWIFT. Without this cooperation, the issue of these sanctions becomes a purely political matter. And Schwan continued, as for the intended aspect of the violations, it is the presence of a kind of collusion on the part of some employees in these banks to facilitate bank transfers, and this aspect must be audited by the central bank and the concerned regulatory and legal authorities. And the political analyst Hazem al-Bawi warned against going towards the legislation of the oil and gas law before resolving the file with the Kurds in terms of the violations that occurred and the control of some oil fields by the region. Al-Bawi said in a statement to Al-Maloma that the Iraqi people know very well that Kurdish parties are the ones that obstructed the process of approving this important law, which has been stalled since many parliamentary sessions for well-known reasons. He added, the adoption of this law will strike more concessions that the Kurdish authorities unjustly take from the oil file, noting that most of these concessions relate to the administrative side of the fields, especially those that lie outside the borders of the region in the neighboring provinces of Kurdistan, which were seized by the region's authorities inadvertently. And he stressed that, approving this law in a scientific and sober legal manner will be the factor in fairness to the oil-producing provinces that suffer from poverty and deprivation in the center and south. And yes, dear all, now the Iraqi dinar is much stronger than the US dollar. And at this point the Iraqi dinar should be equal to the Kuwaiti dinar. On behalf of all of us and on my behalf, I have a question from Central Bank of Iraq that Iraq is now in a very strong position and Iraq has done all its work, and Iraq has also recovered all its funds. Dear CBI, now what are you waiting for and why are you waiting, and doesn't time come back, and the work is better and better which is done on time. And now is the perfect time to revalue the Iraqi dinar, and dear CBI, now you break the chains of slavery. And dear CBI, this is not the time to think but to do something. And dear CBI, revalue the Iraqi dinar in the name of Allah. Find your faith in one Allah. And stop fearing the world, fear only one Allah. Thanks, take care.